as you can see, I'm back home. I didn't take as much video as I would have liked while we were hiking. So I wanted to explain a little bit of the backstory on the castle. The ruins of Slyke Castle, or Foxcroft Estate, sits atop Fox Mountain in Wannock, New Jersey. The former mistress of the castle was Ruth Coles, and she was a nurse who found her wealth and status in life elevated when she married her husband, Charles Hallowell. Unfortunately, only after a year of marriage, Hallowell passed away, and Ruth found herself a widow. So 2 years later, she remarried her husband's friend, and his name was William Porter. And William Porter had already begun building Foxcroft Estate, or Foxcroft Castle, on top of Fox Mountain. And so she moved in once it was finished. So again, unfortunately, their marriage was short-lived, as William Porter was killed in a car accident only 2 years after they were married. So in 1913, she remarried for the third and last time to Warren C. Van Slyke. That's why the castle is named Van Slyke Castle today. Unfortunately, she was widowed again for a third time, and he passed away in 1925, so they've been married about 12 years. She remained alone in the castle until her death in 1940 at the age of 63. The house then passed to one of her closest relatives, and they quickly sold it. I don't think it was ever lived in again. There was a bitter divorce battle, but they think, between the people who had bought it. So it was abandoned from the 1950s, the mid-1950s on. Unfortunately, in 1959, like so many abandoned structures, it was hit by vandals, and it burned down. So today, all you see are the stone walls. The fire destroyed the entire place, and it was never rebuilt. And you'll see the stone walls standing. That's all that's left. So this hike was pretty challenging. It was not too long, like I think 3.4 miles round trip. It's supposed to be 3.1, but we made a couple little stops at Ramapo Lake. There's a lot of uphill getting to the ruins, and it wasn't horrible, but I definitely had to stop and rest. But the hike back down was a bit easier, although there was one spot where I had to drop my hiking poles and use my hands to climb up some rock scrambles. It was a short section, but definitely a little challenging, especially if you're not used to that. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I hope you are able to get out to see this cool trail, especially if you like abandoned places. There's a lot of you can actually go into the castle. I should have taken more video inside the castle. It's very cool. And I hope to get back in the spring and take more video. And it's always cool to photograph places in different times and different times of year. So I hope you enjoyed the video and get to visit this really interesting place, especially if you like abandoned stuff. And I would really like to go back in the spring and photograph it at different times of the year. It's cool to check out places different times of the year and different times of the day. You can get totally different photographs depending on what the environment looks like around it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you out on the trail. And thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. Thank you. Hi, I'm Christy, and we're going to be doing the Van Slyke Castle Loop Trail today. I've wanted to do it for a while because I love abandoned things. So it looks like it starts out pretty easy, but then there's supposed to be some steep climbing towards the castle. As you can see, the parking lot's full. We just had to hike probably about a half mile uphill from a lower little parking area that had like 4 spots. We'd come by earlier this morning around 10:30. All the spots were full, people were waiting. So if you do this loop, I highly recommend you coming very early in the morning before it fills up, or else you'll be parking quite a distance away. There is a porta potty. Starts off pretty easy. The loop is, I think, about 3 miles. This is Ramapo Lake. Walking along Ramapo Lake. So we're getting close to the castle ruins, and this is where you have to climb a bit. Not sure where the next white is. This way. Oh, taking a little break. Keep following the white blazes. It's a little challenging. And then I'm a little out of breath. Oops. It's very cool though. And there's Dan waiting for me at the top. Alright, so we got to the top. I think this is the castle viewpoint, castle lookout. swimming pool.